Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Buckets, Blitzes, and Breakaways podcast. I'm your host, Evan, along with my brother Jake.
Hello, everyone.
And today we're going to talk some hockey. This is week 2 of our hockey podcast. I guess you could call it our Breakaways podcast, or Breakaways part of the podcast, I should say. But we're going to get right into some devastating injuries around the league. Obviously, we're in preseason here. We've been in preseason for about a week now. And there's already been some unfortunate news. Obviously, Barkov, it didn't even happen in a preseason game, but in the practice, Barkov, I don't know, he just kind of fell, took a weird landing, his knee bent funny, tore his ACL and MCL. He's missing the entire season. That is devastating news for the Panthers. What are your thoughts, Jake? How do they recover?
Well, obviously, the Panthers are a very skilled and deep team, but losing their captain for probably the entire year is a lot to overcome.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because he's their captain, their best player.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make that up. But
Yeah.
I think it'll obviously take a toll on them in some way, especially on Barkov himself, to being out of action for that long when missing the game he loves. But I'm sure the Panthers will find a way to overcome.
Yeah.
They're the Panthers we're talking about here.
Yeah. And then obviously Matthew Tkachuk getting surgery as well for the offseason. It says 4 to 6 weeks, but I've also heard that he'll be out till January, which is a problem.
It's also kind of a big loss for Florida. It's two of their top players going out with injury before the season even starts.
Yeah, I mean they still have the depth that we were talking about, but it's definitely a significant hit to their team and just to the morale in general. But I know that they know how to win, so they'll bounce back.
Young guys will step up. They'll find a way to overcome.
Yeah, another segment though for the Barkov, or another way to look at it. Another way to look at the Barkov injury as well is that Team Finland now loses probably their best player. I mean, you could argue Sebastian Aho. But they lose Alex Barkov. The last time he played for Team Finland in the Winter Olympics was 2014. So kind of tough for him, man. He was probably looking forward to playing there, I would assume, and they were probably looking forward to having him, but now that is gone.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's crazy to think about that. 2014 was the last time Barkov played for Team Finland in the Olympics.
Yeah,
That's
obviously he
kinda
played
crazy.
there in the what the hell is it? Oh yeah, obviously he played there in the Four Nations tournament, but that's obviously not the Winter Olympics. That was just I think it was an All-Star game replacement, which I think it was fun, but don't do it every year, please. You'll just ruin it.
Yeah, although it was kind of exciting last year, but
Oh, it was amazing.
not every year do it. Do
Yeah.
it once every couple of years just to keep the spark there.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no. Overall, though, I think the Panthers will eventually. They'll start they have a depth. They have a pretty deep team. They'll definitely get over it. And I hope that Barkov can recover. I hope rehab goes well for his knees and he's able to. I know he already had surgery, so I'm glad that went safe for him. But another thing I wanted to bring up was about the mental health thing. I've gotten injuries before. I broke my leg playing basketball. I've dislocated my knee. I've sprained and fractured my thumbs. Injuries suck, and they take a big toll, obviously, on you physically, but also mentally. And I hope he surrounds himself with a good support system. And I know his teammates got his back, and the trainers and staff got his back, but I hope that he's personally going to be all right. So, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so also another injury, Jamie Benn, game 1 of the preseason, collapsed lung. I don't know exactly how it happened, but apparently he took a hit into the board somehow.
Okay,
And,
that was my question I was about to ask. I was going to ask, was it before game, before or after game, or during the game? But you just answered that. So.
Yeah, I think obviously, I don't know. I guess a collapsed lung could happen at any time, but I think for the most part, they're usually a contact injury.
Yeah, if you get hit hard enough in the chest, then yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are cases where it just happens from whatever, but I'm not a medical expert. I'm just a guy who watches hockey, you know what I mean? So, but I hope for the best. Obviously, the Victoria native, we're from BC, so heart goes out to him, even though he's torched the Canucks for so long. But yeah, I hope for the best, man. I hope he can recover there, and hope he stays all right. Next up, we got what did I say? Next up, and then we also got David Rainbacher as well for the Montreal Canadiens, going down with a broken hand for 4 to 6 weeks, I believe the timetable was. That's devastating. We got Montreal fans saying, and it begins because we all know the history of them having injured players, especially the young guys. I hope he can recover. I hope it does. I mean, wrist injuries or hand and wrist injuries for any hockey player is tough because the mitts, right? You gotta
That's
be
like
able
a key
to.
part of the game, yeah.
Exactly.
You gotta use those minutes to put the puck into that or to make a pass. So.
Yeah, exactly. So Yeah, that's like a broken foot for a runner. You know what I mean? Just kind of you need it. Like it's not negotiable. But I hope he also. I don't know if he's had surgery yet, but I hope it goes well for him. Um, I've also seen not really injuries, but leave of absences as well. The two that I saw was Joseph Wall. He had some family matters he had to attend to, so he's going to step away from the Toronto organization for a little bit here. I don't know the timetable. I don't even know. He could be back by now, for all I know. But
Oh, I haven't heard about that one, but
yeah, Joseph Wall, obviously he's the backup, so they still have Stellars, so they're still in decent hands right now. But yeah, he's taking some time off. Don't know how long. And also the other leave of absence is Vasily Podkolzin for the Edmonton Oilers. Very solid piece. I feel like he played some really important minutes for them in the playoffs, and former Canuck as well. We watched him grow. Sad to see we gave up on him. I still believe that he could have turned into something for us, but it is what it is. But he left the team, and I believe I think he's flying back to Russia because of the sudden passing of his father, which you don't want to hear. You never want to hear that about anyone. I don't care if you like him or if you don't. You can't celebrate death. That's disgusting, and I hope that he's okay, and his family. Obviously, condolences to his family and all of his loved ones, because the loss of a family member.
that's like beyond heartbreaking.
Yeah,
And that's very hard to overcome, like mentally. Like,
and most importantly, it's bigger than hockey. It's bigger than the sport. Obviously, I hope his teammates are there for him as well.
so as we always tell people, family comes first,
Absolutely,
regardless.
with everything, family comes before work, comes before schooling. If you're in school, that's just we all know that. But yeah, so condolences for his family. Hopefully everything, hopefully they can come together as a family and grow and move on in a healthy way, right? Um, but some of the things I want to bring up, obviously we're Canucks fans to the core, right? Like we love the Canucks. We've been fans since, I mean, I've heard stories of my mother saying when the Canucks used to score and I was in the womb still, I used to kick whenever they scored. So
I've heard that too about
yeah,
myself.
maybe a little embellishment there, but I don't care. I'm riding that with that storyline. So yeah. But we've been watching the Canucks preseason a lot lately, and I do want to say, I've been kind of impressed. We're looking solid so far. We're 2-1. I do like what we've been doing. I've been really impressed with Victor Mancini as well, and also Nikita Tolopilo, the backup goalie, or no, he's the starter now. He's a backup last year for Shilovs, but we all know we got rid of him. Sadly, I'm a little disappointed in that as well. But,
Yeah, still seeing him in black and gold does not fit right with me.
well, unless it's the black and gold in our alts, but
Well, yeah,
yeah,
but
no, I know. I'm just playing, but yeah,
yeah.
no. Obviously the best for Artie. He took a lot of flack, but he really saved our asses that playoff run. I know things didn't work out in the season last year, the regular season, but you can't really hold him.
It wasn't all his fault.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. He's still young, so he has time to develop well. And Pittsburgh, please take care of him. But like I was saying though, really impressed with Mancini and Tolopilo. I think that they did really good. Tolopilo's been coming in cold in the third period of the last two games. Demko's been getting the nod just because we want to ease him into games as well, coming back from injury. It seems like every time Demko plays, it's coming back from injury, but which is no laughing matter. But I'm trying to make light of it, I guess. But yeah, Tolopilo been playing really solid, stopped a couple really nice chances, and all of it coming in on jumping in the game cold is pretty impressive. So I like what I'm seeing from him. Even though we got rid of Artie, I think we still have a decent goalie depth. Obviously we have I think his name is Yuri Patera as well as a player. We also have Medvedev, and we're in good hands. And Lankinen and Demko, can't forget about those guys. But speaking of goalies and stuff, we're still gonna get back to the Canucks, but. We're going to be doing a video where we rank every goalie tandem in the NHL. So definitely stay tuned for that. It'll just be a regular video on the channel. We're going to be doing more shorts, YouTube. We're going to be doing more YouTube shorts, more TikToks, more Instagram Reels. So definitely make sure to follow us. All of the links in the description. Definitely follow button. Definitely hit the follow button. Definitely subscribe to us for more. It helps you get notified when we drop videos and when the podcast airs again. So definitely stay tuned for that. Also, eventually, and I'll bring this up in every podcast because if you don't know, we do a separate podcast for basketball, a separate podcast for hockey. The basketball one's going to be starting up next week, but we're going to be aiming to do a watch along of some games. So maybe like Hockey Night in Canada, we'll do a watch along, or Sunday Night Football, or if there's like a game we want to watch, or even basketball as well. Like if there's a big night and we want to watch some games, we might just live stream a box score of it. Just talk with the chat if anyone shows up, of course. Um, but yeah, so definitely stay tuned for that.
100%.
Another thing I want to talk about with the Canucks is Braden Coots. He got his first goal. It was an unofficial first NHL goal because it's preseason, but he got a first NHL goal. Just good positioning in front, got a tip in. I don't even think he noticed it until it went in the back of the net that he got the tip in. But it's a good sign. He's in the right place at the right time. That's kind of where you want to be in your NHL career, right? So
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, so I think he's been kind of impressive lately, especially in those scrimmage games. I think he's been pretty impressive, so I think we got a bright future in our hands here. Do you think, Jake, and I know you haven't watched as much preseason as I have, but do you think that Braden Coots could crack the roster?
I have high hopes for it. Like I read somewhere that if he does make our roster right now, it might be a little risky
Oh yeah, for sure.
because he's only 18. He's like 180 something pounds. Like he's like I guess almost too young
Yeah.
to be on the roster. But like I don't know, like you just said, I haven't been watching too much of the Canucks preseason, but just from highlights what I've seen, he's been looking pretty solid.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he does, like I hope he does, because he like you just said also, he's a great young potential young star for us,
Yeah.
third line probably, maybe fourth line.
Yeah, I think for now, I mean, I don't think we should push him to that 2C spot right now. I think that'll stay for Heedle, which we'll get into more about that as well as we go. But I think Coots, yeah, like you said, he has a bright future. I think maybe we should give him the first like 10, 15 games of the regular season, and then we should look to send him to Abbotsford if needed. If he plays really well, then obviously we'll keep it going. And then maybe after the trade deadline or something, we could bring him up for a couple games, see where he goes, just kind of test the water a little bit.
Yeah,
Because you're gonna
it'll
see
help his development.
exactly, and he's young, like you said, he's 18 years old. You're gonna see some troubles. Like you're gonna see some struggles. You're gonna see some mistakes. That just comes with learning, right? That's how you learn. You got to make the mistakes in order to learn from the mistakes, right? And hopefully he can learn from other people's mistakes as well.
Because nobody's perfect, and you have to learn from your mistakes to grow as a player.
Exactly, and to grow as a human being, right?
Yeah,
We
we're
all
all
got
human.
minds. We all gotta adapt to stuff, right? So, but yeah, no, I got definitely a lot of hype for him. Definitely a lot of deserved hype. I think he's playing well. But next thing I want to look at is Evander Kane looked like he fit well so far. I mean, I know he hasn't played a lot in the preseason. I think last game was his only game that he played. Maybe not, though. I could be wrong about that. But he looked pretty decent. It looked pretty natural. He's playing out there, flowing with the guys as well. I think he was out there with DeBrusque and Petey.
I was just about to ask who was he like online with
I think he
most of the
shared
game.
a little bit. I think he was. I mean, I saw him out there with Petey and DeBrusque on the power play, I believe. But then I think he was out there with maybe Besser, or maybe he was out there with Besser and Petey, and then DeBrusque was on the second line with him. I don't know how it worked. I can't remember. Maybe Garland as well. I really need to pay attention to that though. Next time, hopefully, I'll know who he shared the roster with. Or shared the line with, I should say. But he looked, pretty decent out there. He looked like he molded well and all that stuff. He scored an empty netter, so can't really say that he scored nothing. Empty netter, a goal is a goal. They don't ask how, they ask how many. But yeah, he didn't go nip one bar down ski, okay? But either way, though, I think I'm excited for him. Obviously, brother, if you hit that pole one more time, I'm going to beat you.
I'm trying not to. I really am. I just move my hand. That's right there.
You just don't move your hand. Anyway, obviously, we're brothers. I'm not actually going to beat him senseless, okay? I love my brother to death, man.
He secretly does. Just kidding.
Uh, but Philip Hedl leaning towards taking that next step. What do we think about that? There's been a lot of doubt and a lot of sort of criticisms about him, saying that he's not up to par for that second center role. What do you think personally?
If he stays healthy, he can stay on on the second line. Because I've heard not only from Evan himself, just from in general, he's pretty injury prone, and on top of that, he's kind of inconsistent in terms of numbers and even just overall play style.
Yeah.
But honestly, just from what I saw last season, and from the very little I saw from preseason, he kind of he fits in with us pretty well. Obviously, his moments of looking pretty solid, playmaking. Other times he slumps, but that's normal. Everyone's like that. But just in general, I think he's promising for us.
Yeah, no, I think he has the potential to be that a like reliable second center for us. Yeah, it all comes down to availability. Obviously, I think that was his fourth or maybe it was his third concussion last season. Alarming. That's alarming right off the get go, right there. Like one more and his career might be done. So, like, I
or in
mean,
jeopardy.
well, yeah, for sure. Most people don't even have. It doesn't take three concussions for them to get their career ended. Like,
Sometimes it just takes one.
exactly.
You never know.
Yeah. But I do think, yeah, your best ability is your availability. I think that if he can stay consistent, like last year, I noticed when he got traded to us, those first couple games. Obviously, he made his debut against Detroit, I believe it was, and those first couple games, he looked like a breath of fresh air for us. He was actually wheeling. He was a nice spice up, a nice spring from our Rick Tocchet playbook.
Yeah, he was getting pucks on net, which we lacked of heavy last year.
Yeah, but it seemed like in the final couple games before his injury, he kind of seeped into the Tocchet play style. No rip on Rick Tocchet, it just wasn't working anymore. The dump and chisel, but without the chisel. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't win hockey games too
Like,
often.
yeah, winning. Like, I understand we maybe winning, but having like barely 15 shots a game in the process is like just constantly like dumping it down, banking our defense to hold us in games. That's
Yeah.
not going to win you games.
But our
Especially if,
defense is phenomenal. Like we're a very I feel like we're in a very underrated defensive team, but
yeah,
it's
but
hard to say. But I hope that with this new obviously Adam Foote's the new head coach, so I believe that I hope that we can spice things up a little bit and maybe bring a change of scenery and eventually a change of culture in Vancouver hockey. But
so I mean, I noticed in their last preseason game we had almost 40 shots,
yeah, and
and
and and Heedle himself
that's
was
a green flag already.
exactly. And Heedle himself was absolutely buzzing in that game against Calgary. I feel like he kind of took over and he scored and it was a beautiful snipe, but yeah, he kind of took over in that spot. I feel like he was maybe not for the whole game, but he was fitting more naturally into his position, I think. And hopefully he can really take that next step come regular season time. One thing I want to say about so we got roster cuts coming up soon. We've already seen a couple people cut. Also, Chase Stillman, I believe that's his name, and Riley Patterson, I believe. We signed 2 entry-level deals. I hope that they seemed pretty decent, so, next level of cuts are coming soon. Lecker Linus Karlsson, and Braden Coots are all making really good cases for that final roster. What do you think about them, Jake? Do you think that they have what it takes as of right now?
Honestly, I think so. Like we've already had previous experience with Carlson and Lekamaki, like last couple of years. Brian Coots, obviously, is a rookie. We drafted him first overall. If he doesn't,
Not first overall. Well, he was our first
round,
pick.
first
Yeah, he
round,
was
sorry.
our first pick, but the first round, yeah.
But like, if he doesn't make our roster cut, I think it won't be very long until he does make it because I can see his potential. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like Linus Karlsson struggles a little bit in the NHL, but you can't really blame him when you only play a couple games a year in the NHL.
like going from
So,
the AHL to NHL, that's like a huge skill gap,
yeah,
skill differential. Like
not saying that they're not good in the AHL. Obviously, they're far better than I'll ever be, but
yeah, just
there's a big skill gap. There's a reason that they're in the minor leagues, right? So,
so like adjusting to going back and forth can be like difficult to adjust to, and
yeah, but Lecker obviously, he's played pretty well. He's tapered off a little bit in his time in the NHL. Same with Carlson, but I feel like Carlson probably has the nod over Lecker but I think both. I think there potentially could be 2 players that make it. But that sucks because that would mean that Atu Ratu and or Teddy Bluger might have to fall out of the lineup. I don't know if we're gonna do that though, because Teddy Bluger is one of our best penalty killers.
I was gonna say I would if one of those two had to go, I would pick Ratu
Yeah,
over Bluger because Bluger has been like our third line center, fourth line center. He's been like
he's been pretty solid.
yeah, to say the least.
But I would personally choose Atu Ratu and probably Linus Karlsson over the other 2. I want Coots to play. If, like I said, I want to give him time. So I think maybe Ratu should have a for sure secured roster spot, maybe the third center. I think he has earned it. He played really well last year. And I think that we should sort of cycle between Coots, Lecker and Karlsson for like a fourth line shift. You know what I mean? Like I think we should kind of go up and down, pulling them up and down of the AHL just to test the water, see who really wants it, and maybe by trade deadline we can make that decision, right?
Yeah,
But either way, though, they're all making good cases. Also, we're almost 20 minutes in, and we've talked about injuries in Vancouver. So, but I still have some more. things to talk about. But
Like I've said before, this man can make a whole 45-minute podcast on just strictly Vancouver talk.
But yeah, I mean, but I don't watch a lot of other teams. Like I do watch a lot of hockey outside of Vancouver hockey, but that's just my main team, man. So if we had like when next week we'll definitely have more people. We have more
Opinions. Like
opinions.
more,
Me and Jake
yeah.
are me and Jake are Canucks fans. Hayden, who you saw on the last podcast, he is a diehard Red Wings fan. But then we got Anthony, who's a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, which is funny because he made a short with us, and he was like calling Austin Matthews a bum, and people got upset about it in the comments, which is hilarious because he's a freaking Maple Leafs fan, and then also Ricky, Florida Panthers fan, and he's he's not a bandwagon fan. He was Florida Panthers fan about 5-10, well actually over 5 years now.
Pretty much since Luongo joined Florida is when he became a fan.
Yeah, so like what was that 2013, something like that? Holy crap!
No,
It's been.
I don't think it's been that long.
Hold on,
has
wait
it?
a minute, wait a minute.
Oh, that was like 2017, 2018, somewhere around there.
Hold on, let me see. Why did the one go get your 2014?
Oh, it was 2014.
So
Oh.
the 2013-14 season. That's insane. That dude, hold on. I need a minute, brother. Like that's crazy.
I thought it was a lot more recent than that. Wow.
Yeah, it's been
That's
11
ki-
years.
That's kind of crazy. Holy.
But yeah, we got Jacob Markstrom and Sean Matthias. That's a pull right there. I remember I actually used to like Sean Matthias. I thought he was going to be really good. I remember I used to play as him on an NHL 10 when he was on Florida, or was it NHL 12? I can't remember which one of the two. But I used to play with him. Pause. But you know what I mean. I used to like him. But we're gonna move on to that.
But yeah, one thing, I'm sure Evan was probably going to this pretty soon, but I will mention it now. One thing we're probably most concerned about, and I could probably agree with this, is Thatcher Demko's health.
Yeah, that's the number one. That is the deciding factor of this season.
Because even though we have a lot of faith in Kevin Lincoln already, as he's shown us like last season, like he has bailed us out in numerous amount of games.
Yeah,
Like just when our defense crumbles, he steps up, he makes those big saves, wins us games.
absolutely.
Demko, if he stays healthy, he's definitely a Vezina candidate goalie, if
Oh,
not a
absolutely.
Vezina winner.
Yeah.
And he just needs to stay healthy, or else we probably have one of the best goalie candidates in the league.
Absolutely. Lankinen, like you were saying, he's bailed us out of a lot of situations. But I did feel like last year we might have overplayed him a little bit, and sometimes like he would be playing 3 or 4 games in a row. Like
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
lot to ask out of a goalie.
Yeah, there were some games where you could see he was getting fatigued and like just he wasn't reacting like he would normally, and you could see he was like physically getting drained.
Yeah, and also like the way Artie was playing as well as a backup last year. I mean, like that was tough in the game against New Jersey, especially. I don't know if you remember that game, Jake. I believe that was one of his first games in the league. Well, this past season, I should say. Just wasn't looking good. I mean,
Oh
it was
yeah,
New Jersey, and it was when they were kind of buzzing, but
oh yeah, I
I don't
remember that. Yeah, like that was.
it was a 5-0 loss or 6-0, I think.
So, yeah, I think that was probably one of the first games we literally said, okay, we're done and turned the TV off before the game even ended.
Yeah, well, I
It was
mean,
that bad.
we stayed until like the last minute, but yeah, no, we stayed. We made sure that we weren't going to score 6 goals in a minute. Um, we couldn't score 6 goals in 59, so I didn't think we were going to score 6 in one. But yeah,
Hey,
so
well,
that.
we scored. Oh, never mind.
But yeah, so like Arturs just wasn't playing up to par, unfortunately. Obviously, he finished off the season fairly decently, I think, at least. Like the games against Vegas, I believe he played against Vegas and Calgary. I think we won against Calgary. I could be wrong though, but I feel like he played pretty solid. But yeah, Lankinen overplayed last season. Still did amazing for his stats don't say he did amazing, and you could argue that maybe he isn't as good as people like me seem to think he is. That's a fair assumption too. Or not fair assumption. That's a fair argument to make as well, because he's not like a top 15 goalie in the league. He's not top 20 even. I mean, you could argue top 20, but top 15 I think might be pushing it. But he definitely came in clutch for us in a lot of scenarios. But yeah, Demko's health, brother, it means so much to this team. Because, like you're saying, he's a top 5, arguably top 3 goalie. Vezina candidate a couple years ago. He knows how to get it done. Just he doesn't know how to stay healthy. It's unfortunate. But
Yeah.
another big thing is Pedersen's comeback season. We need a big season from him. I think he can get around a point a game. I feel like he came out swinging a little bit against Seattle last night, or the other night, I should say, because I don't know if this is going up Sunday night or if it's going to go up Monday morning, but probably Sunday night. Breaking the fourth wall a little bit there, but yeah, he looked decent, I think. Obviously, it's preseason, so he's not going to put all of his effort in. It's the preseason. Like, you don't want to get hurt. You're not trying to hurt yourself or other people, so
So I guess in a way preseason is like the warm up time. Not really warm up
It
time,
is,
but
yeah.
like
It's for the young guys to get out there and show their, try and crack a roster, right? So, um, yeah, that's kind of, the point of it, just to warm up and get goalies ready and all that stuff. Any other news, though, that you wanted to bring up at all? You see
I
anything?
was just gonna say that I'm gonna transition from little Vancouver talk to some signings I've noticed or picked up on.
Okay.
Um, Mason McTavish
Oh, yeah, I heard about
at
that.
Anaheim. He resigned for 6 years for $7 million. How do you think about that, Evan?
6, 7. I honestly, I think I want to jump out of my window for saying that. Like, if we're being honest, like, I can't, I actually cannot believe I stooped to that level. I'm, I disappointment cannot be put into words right now.
Yeah,
I'm
6 years
actually
for
pissed
seven
off.
million a year. That's kind of
No, that actually like ruined my. I'm pissed off. Like, dude, I see people say 6, 7, and I just want to like throw them out of a freaking truck. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't like when people say it's like brain rot. It's just like cringe. You know what I mean? And I just said it. Now I'm one of them. Now I need to jump out of a truck. Okay, like no, but obviously I'm not gonna ever do that. I would never do that. But yeah, no, 6 year for 42 million dollars. Not bad, dude. I feel like he was worth it. Sad the Canucks couldn't get the deal done, but I don't think we would have had the cap space for it, to be honest. Especially
yeah.
with having Evander Kane's contract. I think he's a rental. I think he has 1 year left. I hope he resigns, but at the same time, if he wants a lot of money, screw him. Oh, there's a headline that says right here: Capo Caco breaks his hand, set to miss 6 weeks for the Kraken. Yikes.
Six
Wild.
weeks for a broken hand.
Yeah, wild, right?
And also, there's another re-signing. I can't find it at the moment, but Mikael Backlund
Oh yeah.
re-signed for 3 years.
Oh, that's nice. That's good. He's been
As
there
their
forever, right?
Yeah,
So
as their team captain, obviously.
yeah, and oh my goodness, how we forgot to talk about it. Mark Giordano retired officially a couple weeks ago.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
He gave
Kind of,
us.
he's a legend, man. We grew up obviously. Wow, grass is green. We're talking about the Canucks again. We're Canucks fans. We grew up watching Canucks and Flames as that was a staple in the household,
I was
right?
just gonna say, like Giordano on the Flames back then. He used to give us problems.
Yeah, absolutely. We used to watch. I mean, I think it was Phaneuf and Regier, but then it was Giordano and maybe like I don't know who.
Corey Sarich.
Yeah, Sarich or somebody like
That's
that.
a pull. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that's a kind of that was ball knowledge right there. But yeah, we used to watch games like that, dude. Like he was a legendary. Legendary. Yes, he's a legendary Pokemon. We got Giratina out here. Okay, origin form, baby. No, but in all seriousness, no. Hopefully, the best retirement for him. Obviously, an NHL legend. Played with the Maple Leafs as well for a while there. A couple seasons at least. Yeah. I'm reading here on ESPN that says the Minnesota Wild owner, is confident in talks with Kirill Kaprizov. What are your thoughts, man? I don't know, man. He's been kind of throwing them for a loop a little bit.
Yeah, I still don't know where Kaprizov stands. Like where he wants to be. If he wants to stay in Minnesota, or if he wants to potentially have new scenery, join like a contending team. Because obviously he wants what everyone else wants, a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And Minnesota hasn't been that. Like they've been maybe second round, the furthest in how long now? Like it's been like yeah, like
It's been a while.
I don't know how he feels. I don't know where his head's at. Like I think the only person who can answer that question is him. So
Yeah, he did tell the press that he was kind of focusing on hockey, which is fair, but,
that doesn't really
contract talk is
tell.
pretty important too.
That doesn't really tell us where he wants to be. Like because he said he likes Minnesota, but like does he want to play in Minnesota or like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they get it done though. But he declined the a contract that would have made him the highest paid player. Like that screams that he doesn't want to play for the team. Because with all due respect, I know for a fact he's not going to be like, well, I want to take a pay cut. Hell no, come on now. He's Kirill Kaprizov, young stud. He is the future face of the league.
He's Minnesota's best player, obviously.
Absolutely. If you decline a contract that would make you the highest paid player of all time, I'm pretty certain you're not wanting to play for that franchise. Like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, if that's not like the biggest red flag, I don't know what is.
Yeah, unless he pulls like a Dennis Schroeder, where he like, remember when Dennis Schroeder, he had a 4-year, $80 million deal with the Lakers on the table, and then he ended up signing like he declined it, trying to ask for more. The Lakers declined his offer, and then he ended up signing like a $2 million contract with the Celtics, something like that.
Yeah, sometimes I don't understand what goes through players' minds in that aspect, but
Yeah, but yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to wait until you know more of it gets publicized, I guess.
uh,
Also, another thing as well, Zdeno Chara got hired by the Boston Bruins organization to have like an organizational role, have a front office role. What do you think about that?
I was really just about to bring that up myself. Honestly, it's like I think it might be okay for them because obviously he's their former captain for many, 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 many years.
Hmm.
Led them to one Stanley Cup. Sad.
Yeah, we're a Canucks fan, by the way, if you didn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, we still have nightmares. Don't
obviously
worry.
we lost to Boston in 2011 as we both have been haunted by that for basically our entire life since then.
Yep.
And so now he's part of the front office, meaning I guess he might have say in their future decisions.
Yeah, I think he's more like a personnel player. I think that's the right word. I'm really try. I shouldn't have said that because I'm not smart. Like I shouldn't use big people words. But I think he has like a role where he's like kind of working with the crew, like working with the trainers and working around the players and stuff like that. So I don't know though. I'm not the person who hired him, so I don't know exactly the job description. But I think that's pretty cool, honestly. We got some preseason games going on right now. It's the end of the second period, start of the third for the Boston Bruins, ironically, facing off against Philly. That's a pretty classic rivalry. Then we got the Atlanta. That's whoa. The Atlanta who now? What?
I think you meant Anaheim,
Uh huh. Anaheim Ducks,
not
not
Atlanta Ducks.
Atlanta, not Atlanta. We're not in 2011. Okay.
Or this is not basketball or football.
Exactly. Yeah, we got the Anaheim Ducks and we got the LA Kings, tied 1-1 in the first period, I should say. We also had the Buffalo Sabres beat the Detroit Red Wings, so kind of breaking the fourth wall again. You kind of know exactly where when we're recording this. I should say. We still have a bunch of games going on tonight. I don't know if I want to name them all because there's just like 40. There's really not.
But
But
I do have a question for you. I'm sorry to interrupt you,
no, what's up? I
but
was yapping anyways.
this is like a playoff question. Like knowing how skillful LA is,
Yeah.
do you think if they don't have to play Edmonton in the first round, can they make a like? Do you think they can make a potential cup run?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that you know what. This is gonna sound stupid, because dude, I think that's their only kryptonite. Like if you
Yeah, I
if
agree.
you
Cause like,
actually, well, I don't know if they can make a cup run. A cup run's a little wild. I'm just gonna look at the previous year's rankings real quick. So they finished second in the division, in the Pacific. Obviously, they phenomenal team, 105 points, 48 wins on the year. But they faced their nemesis. That's the Edmonton Oilers. They can't like. Dude, Edmonton is their kryptonite. That's just how it is. That's just what it is, how it is, and it sucks because Andrei Kuzmenko is probably one of my favorite players in the league right now, and he has just been on all team aside from Philly, I guess, but that was like a 2 week period. He's been on all teams that are just usually get crap kicked by Edmonton. The Canucks lost to Edmonton in the playoffs the other year. No, Kuzmenko wasn't there, but you know what I mean. Then he went to Calgary. They're notably in a rivalry with Edmonton, and Edmonton for the last couple of years have been coming out on top in at least the winning standpoint. And then obviously now LA Kings. How many years has it been in a row where they face in the first round?
like 4 or 5 straight years.
Like, brother, come on now. If the LA Kings do not face Edmonton in the first round, I believe that they
Can they go to at least the conference finals?
absolutely. I think it'll come down to them in Winnipeg.
I don't know about Winnipeg in the cup finals.
Wait, now that I said that, I need to put my bong down. What am I talking about here? Okay, Winnipeg's not making the conference finals. Okay, it's the Winnipeg Jets. With all due disrespect.
I think there's one year they did make it, but they got jealous with by Vegas.
Yeah, shut up. It's gonna come down. I think probably realistically, because if you're a Winnipeg Jets fans, if you're a Winnipeg Jets fan, realistically means that the Jets will not make it past the second round. I'm surprised they made it past the first round, and that's coming from a Canucks fan. So realistically, we ain't making nothing. Anyways,
I could see more LA versus Dallas in the conference finals,
yes,
or
that's what I was
Colorado
gonna
or
say. Yeah,
something,
yeah, I think that's fair. I think Dallas. You know what? I think Dallas can make a run.
because they've been like a conference finals or cup contending team for the last numerous like for the last what, like 10 years now.
Yeah, it's true. But that's
And
also that's sorry, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
I was just gonna say it's just and like they just like I know they went to the Cup Finals in the bubble, obviously losing to Tampa as the start of their almost three-peat before losing to Colorado. But like Dallas has that team. Like they have their goalie. They have strong defensemen. They're just a hump they just cannot get over.
Yeah. And maybe more time because obviously they had half a season to get their stuff in order with Rantanen. Not even half. Yeah, they had a couple months.
Yeah,
So
Rankin has probably been their best accusation. Not accusation, sorry, that's the wrong word. Their best
acquisition,
addition.
yeah, acquisition, not
The best
accusation.
addition,
Yeah,
and like I don't know,
recent history.
yeah, like he does more than just fit in. He
Yeah,
like
he gelled well. He created, which is a big part of that, and he was a great two-way player. Well, not great two-way, but he was a good enough two-way player. Great offensive player for sure.
yeah, like
Um,
probably their best playmaker now. Of all the depth they have on that team, like that's Dallas is arguably one of the deepest teams I've seen in a long time.
oh yeah, for
From top to bottom, like they have such a deep team.
yeah,
Um,
100%. But yeah, no, I think that Dallas can definitely make that run, and also for the keyboard warriors who are probably already typing away. Um, just because Edmonton doesn't face LA in the first round, that doesn't mean they can't come and play in the conference finals or second round.
as long as it's the first round.
Yeah, I have confidence. Okay.
Yeah, because last year I thought LA had the number on Edmonton, like just from how the first two games played.
Oh boy, yeah.
Like yes, it was shootouts, but well, I just
Brother,
second game
Stuart Skinner
wasn't.
was in Stuart Skinner form. Okay, like
Yeah, you just like I'm calling Chell here, like NHL 26 here. You flick up, it goes in on Stuart Skinner, like
yeah,
especially in the
literally.
first couple games. But then for some reason he decides to lock in like from like what games like
Well, he had like one for sure, maybe two good games in that whole series. The other one was just offense is better than LA's defense.
yeah,
Um,
because
but
yeah, when it becomes shootout, like when the game becomes a shootout, Skinner is not really known to hold his own in that regard.
yeah. I think honestly though, that might be time to wrap it up. I think we kind of got through most of the things we were gonna say. I have the hiccups right now. That's something.
I can tell.
Um, but yeah, so more preseason hockey underway. We'll get into stuff. We're gonna be doing the watch-alongs once the regular season starts. I think the Canucks make their debut on the 8th of October, so that's right around the corner here. So I think, and is that a Friday? That is a Wednesday. Wow, I suck. So we're going to be doing a watch-alongs eventually. Maybe we'll watch along some of the Canucks games, some of the Hockey Night in Canada games. Obviously, we know we're not people's first option. There's a lot of people that watch those games, and we're just kind of getting our way. We're making our way up in society here. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, we're still developing ourselves.
exactly, you could say that was a weird way to put it, but I agree with it. It's the truth, right? So, but definitely stay tuned. We're going to be ranking all the goalie tandems after this. So if you'd like to check out that video, make sure to go do that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Watch our YouTube Shorts, our TikToks, and Instagram Reels. Links all in this description. I almost had a stroke saying that.
And we
But
will see you on the basketball podcast.
yeah, which will probably be Monday, I believe we're aiming for. So stay tuned. If you're interested in NBA, definitely stay tuned for that. We got some opinions on that as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. I know how to do intros. I'm a professional, by the way, guys. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.
We shall see you then.